Hello and welcome to Between Sets with Church. Thank you so much for joining us today as we are back at Kensington's in downtown Barrie with our very own Lyric Dubee. Welcome to the show, my friends. Good to see you.
It is a pleasure.
It has been a while.
Yeah, it certainly has.
Like I said before, we won't say how long it's been, but it has been a while.
It's been quite a few years. I think I was just releasing album number 2 at the last time we ran into each other. So
it was a while for sure.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the beginnings because obviously you're still growing as things go, but you had a really good start on the music scene. Like you really got a good jump on. You want to talk a little bit about the early days and maybe your influences and how you actually got into where you are now.
Absolutely. I like to always kind of, start when talking about this with what actually made me pick up the guitar in the first place.
Yeah.
And that was a purple Les Paul Granada that had caught my eye at the age of 9, and I asked my dad, "Wow, it's so cool, can I have it?" He said, "If you learn to play, the guitar's yours." So the rest is history. I got very fortunate, found a great guitar teacher who, made sure I was listening to good influences, good music, which I can credit my family for as well in that matter. My dad was a DJ and made sure I was listening to every genre.
Oh, that's cool.
24 hours a day, speakers in every room of the house kind of thing. So it was, my early days of music was a lot of listening and a lot of practice and kind of finding my way to it. My goal at the time was to be a session player. I wasn't interested in writing. I wasn't interested in doing the artist thing. And then around the age of 11, I'd started kind of writing some little tidbits of songs, and my parents thought it'd be a fun idea to record it for a keepsake. Well, here we are 17 years later, and it was an absolute blast. I had the best time of my life creating, writing, recording, and a lot of my influences back in the day were bands like 30 Seconds to Mars, Linkin Park. I was a big John Mayer fan, still am to this day. A lot of, and as mentioned, a big kind of schmaltz of all different kinds of music. I listen to everything from country, rap, rock, blues, jazz, pop, you name it.
Yeah, so, and you take a little bit of, you can tell you take a little bit of each of those old influences.
Guilty.
Yeah,
I like to think I do, certainly.
Yeah. So it sounds like you obviously had a really good support team right from the word go.
I was extremely fortunate. Both my parents, I'm an only child, they decided, wait, whatever you want to do, we're going to support you 100%. So when I said, I would think I was in high school at the time, I was recording album number 2, and I said, I want to do music, which is it's the most terrifying conversation you could possibly have at 14.
Every parent's fear.
Every parent's fear. And they just said, right on, that's great, let's do it. So my poor mother and father drove me around and chaperoned me to every single gig, industry meeting. I had them driving, my poor mom driving me to Toronto 5 days a week for different meetings and industry events, be it BS Fridays or CMW or Upper Northeast or whatever the next show was. And until I finally hit 18 and they can get a little bit of a break, in the flight dates. And support system has been a massive part of my career, both my parents, my family, my friends, and my teachers.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly needed. Yeah, almost everyone has to have some sort of a team behind them to some degree. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah,
definitely.
The heartbeat is broken, and I'm out of time. The last word was spoken, and it wasn't mine. No, these days cause all these waves to come crashing down. All these days are turning and tearing me. Oh, how I need you. Carry me over the weight that I'm under, straight through the hurricane. I'm buried under the rain where you are, where you are. Shadows are falling, and I'm chasing light. Every last look you gave me is calling, and I can't close my eyes. All these days cause all these waves to come crashing down. All these days are turning and tearing me. Oh, how I need you. Carry me over the weight that I'm under, straight through the hurricane. I'm buried under the rain where you are, where you are. hurricane. I'm buried under the rain. Where you are, where you are, where you are, it's where I am.
I wanted to ask you too about when your guitar playing. You're very diversified, and I caught some of your videos, and there was a little bit of classical in there. There was a little bit of everything. You want to talk a little bit more of? It's more than what you see with Lyric Dubee or others. I'm sorry. That it's you've got some really great guitar talent and diversification, I must say.
Yeah, so I, obviously, first and foremost, I mean, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, but what I love is guitar. I love, love, love guitar so much. It's my favorite thing in the world, and I'll say it a million times. So as mentioned, I started out in life with no intention to be an artist, but to be a session player. So that is where 100% of my time on the instrument went, in training and diversifying myself in different genres. I finished my studies at the Royal Conservatory of Music, studying classical, so I could develop a right hand, something that I knew would be useful, and just to make sure I had a really proper understanding of, reading music and a good understanding of harmony. From there, I studied jazz privately with Mr. John Weston for 10 years, who is a local guitar teacher who's had a very long career of putting kids through university, so his poor soul, and I told him I was going to be an artist, was about the same difficulty of conversation that one would have telling their parents that they want to be an artist as well. Yeah. So thankfully, we continued my training. I studied with John for a total of 10 years, and that led me to just really picking up a lot of different genres. So I found myself in my downtime at home really, rounding up my practice schedule still. I work as a country session artist. Mm-hmm. I also spend a lot of time practicing prog and metal and jazz, things that are passions of mine, but you'll most likely not see me be releasing under the Lyric Dubee name for sure. So yeah, it's at the end of the day, it just comes down to the fact that I am addicted. I love it more than anything, and I want every aspect of it. So that's what has led to the diversifying guitar repertoire that I have in my back pocket.
Yeah, cool. I want to talk a little bit about your writing as well. And I always hate going back to this whole COVID thing, but it was such a learning time for so many people, and a time to reflect, and a time for many musicians to sort of regather their talent, or maybe even their state as to where they want to pursue it or not.
Certainly.
How did that era affect you, or what came out of it from your end of it?
Absolutely. Well, for starters, I dropped my last EP, Sudden Death of Stars, 4 days before COVID was announced.
Oh, wow.
So I had all the time that I'd had that would have been supporting that with the tour, with the additional releases, et cetera, et cetera. I ended up doing one of the things I love most, sitting alone with my guitar. So over the course of the years for COVID, I really got a chance to look at my writing, the writing I'd done in the past, the writing I had been in the process of, and I actually finished a lot of songs that I'd been working on, or ideas that I'd had for, I think the oldest being 7+ years that I've been working through some ideas, and just, songs that don't necessarily, when you sit down in the writing room, sometimes it's very natural, and sometimes you have a great, wonderful idea, and just you're never happy with where it tends to go. It gave me the time to kind of sit down and look inward and say, what about this don't we like? Where are we changing? So I could properly educate myself, revisit some of my roots in harmony, and just take a really great break and long look in the mirror and say, what kind of music am I wanting to show? What is my music speaking for, and what does it have to say? And that allowed me to actually lead me into Purple Sky, which is, over COVID is when I wrote the majority of those tunes, or I say the majority because some of them were started before and then 50% was finished after. But it has really led to a very introspective and calmer and more, I'd like to think, awakened approach to my music writing and creation.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of Purple Sky, why don't we cut to it, we'll have a listen to it.
Certainly, yes.
And then we'll talk back a little bit more if that's cool with you.
Beautiful, that'd be fantastic.
Laying under the purple sky, another day, fight to survive. Try to keep an open mind while I feed myself the lies. Will I wake another day, another world where I have my way? Think back to the light of faith and wide awake to my dismay. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me where it all went wrong. Deeper, deeper now I fall. Fate sings a siren's call. flying over another dream, another day, so it seems. Fight back, but my mind leads to the addiction I feed. As I sleep on another page, another chapter I can't erase. This book is running out of space to depict my fall from grace. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me where it all went wrong. Deeper, deeper, now I fall. Fate sings a siren's call. Purple skies show me anew. Blood, life choices I refuse. Higher, higher, self-abused. Away, I'm consumed. Free in a space I don't belong. See in my head. Free in a space I don't belong. See in my head, all alone. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me where it all went wrong. Deeper, deeper, now I fall. Fate sings a siren's call. Purple skies show me anew. Blood, life choices I refuse. Higher, higher, self-abused. Away, I'm consumed. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me where it all went wrong. Deeper, deeper, now I fall. Fate sings a siren's call.
So let's get back into the writing a little bit more, because starting off young, you obviously had a younger audience who followed you. You had everything going. You had the looks. You had everything going.
Certainly.
So, but with writing, and we compare that to writing that second album. It's not as easy as it seems to kind of get out there. But with writing, as you grew, did you find it difficult to write as you matured and as you grew older, basically?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to consider writing something that's always been rather natural to me.
Okay.
And I think part of that really does come through the fact that I'm most comfortable in music. I love my instrument, I love my songs, and that's the kind of space and area that I really want to spend my time. That being said, difficulties do arise, and the one thing that has been important for me, I feel, over the years is collaboration. I'd like to touch on that for a moment. And
Sure.
a lot of the writing, and I feel that that's where I had a lot of growth, and the largest amount of growth was when I was writing with others. That being said, only 2 songs on this new EP, or 2 of the 3, are co-writes.
Okay.
One with Spencer Smith, which is Purple Sky, who is a fan, friend, and writer from BC. I'd written with Spencer before in the past, and he reaches out. He is something of a poet, who truly a music lover. So he brings me his ideas, and we have wonderful conversations about, life and the important things and what it is we really want to say in the tunes. And then he allows me to essentially take his ideas, stories, and some of his words, and we work together to make music. So collaborations, in the less traditional sense, I think are also very important for artists and writers. And that you don't necessarily need to have another writer in the room who's with you at all the time while you're trying to work through the verses. Sometimes it's a conversation. Sometimes it's observing. And I think it comes down to the biggest thing for me in my writing life is learning how to listen.
Yeah.
Which I'll always go back to say it's the hardest thing to do.
Sure,
I think.
it is. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Absolutely. So I'll always kind of tailor back to that, and that's where I find that the growth has really brought me.
Yeah. So the new EP is coming out pretty soon.
That is
You
correct,
want to talk
yes.
a little bit more about that and
Absolutely.
the tracks and where it's when is it going to be released actually?
Certainly. So the first song on the EP is March 22nd. of
Okay,
this year.
coming up.
Yes, and that will be the release of Purple Sky. So
Nice.
very happy to say we have a music video that we've just shot. We're in the process of editing with Texer Media, a local Barrie company. I try to keep things local. And that I'm extremely, extremely pleased and excited about how we went about capturing the song itself and now the release. It was specifically, it was recorded in Kensington, down in Toronto, with a wonderful producer by the name of Will Schaller. And we had a very big emphasis on keeping things organic and raw. So we made a point to use the absolute minimal amount of plugins and edits and things of the like. We used all vintage hardware for all of our, our EQs, our compressors, our preamps, and really worked on capturing that almost tape-esque essence that kind of gives there's something about, I'm sure you'd agree with me, live music that just really hits differently than a recorded project.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
This song and this album as a whole, EP, is really an approach to try and bring the intimacy that I got sitting alone, writing in my studio for the months that I was not performing, and trying to get that on record. That is the whole kind of backstory of this capture, and I'm really, really pleased to say that I feel I can proudly say this is a good representation of me, my art, and what it's like to sit in my studio with me.
Yeah, that's cool. Was that the same gentleman that did the other video that we're going to watch
That
as
is
well?
correct,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, yeah.
Yep, so this is
Great
Mr.
work.
Sean Harrison from Texas Media, a fantastic individual, who, as mentioned, another local. He's actually my kindergarten best friend. So
there you go.
Like I said, having a good support group and people that are around to help you is absolute instrumental in, I think, any endeavor in life, but especially the music business.
Yeah, cool.
She invited me to drink and said, sit down. Got a story to tell, and it's on me. The best thing that you'll ever see. Mark my words, remember my name. Well, I got no pride, 'cause I got no shame. I had nothing to stop, so I got nothing to lose. Nothing to stop me. Gonna be
We talked earlier, kind of joking around too, about gear. You a
Yes.
gear junkie?
That is an understatement of a very dramatic amount.
Everyone knows now.
Yeah, everyone knows now. So guilty. Yeah. I have 46 guitars and counting, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a wonderful problem to have. So yeah, gear junkie to the highest degree. I love techie, nerdy stuff. What
Yeah.
can I say? Like I said, every aspect of the instrument, I'm just in love with. So.
Cool. Let's talk quickly about the Japan tour, because that was
Yes.
huge. Not too many people have that opportunity to go to Japan twice.
Yeah, so it was. I actually was Japan once, China twice.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was what a fantastic experience. Let me
bet.
tell you. My first round was just shy of a month long. We had China tour, which I believe was 14 shows in 15 days, different city every night.
That's
that,
busy.
That was a busy ask. And then Japan was much more relaxed. We actually only had a few showcases and a bunch of industry events.
Okay.
Fantastic experience, top to bottom. The second time around, we went back, returned to China, which was Nanyang Music Festival, where we actually
Oh, yeah.
headlined
Yeah.
For the largest crowd ever. We hit 10K, which was a personal goal of mine. I'd
Nice.
been wanting to hit for a long time. So
Yeah.
that was there's fantastic people, fantastic fans, and fantastic connections with the other bands and musicians and artists and promoters.
Great
you meet.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truly blessed for that.
Yeah. What advice can you give to some of our younger audience members, or young members who are just picking up the guitar, or
Certainly, yeah.
learning the ropes? Basically,
Absolutely.
You're probably the master of so far of my interviews to relate as to your growth and how maybe some suggestions as to how they can move on with music
Certainly.
as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that it always comes down to is keeping with it. So diligence. Diligence is difficult to do. It's difficult to pick up and practice when you don't see the results that you want to see immediately. It's everything takes time. You must be patient, diligent, and don't be afraid to ask for help from the people around you. If you have any type of support system that you can interact with, even if it's just someone to talk to bounce ideas off of, I highly recommend that. As much as it is a personal learning experience and a personal growth experience to work in the music industry and to be a musician, it's a collaborative thing as well. So get the people around you involved. Make sure you get out, meet, talk with other musicians, other players, people in the industry. It's as much as I said, it's an individual thing, but it's a social thing as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's important for people to keep that in mind.
Any last minute gigs you got coming up that we can relate to, or anything coming up? You mentioned
Certainly, yes.
the brewery coming up in
Yes,
Aurelia soon.
I'm playing on March 29th at the brewery in Aurelia, Kuchichin Craft Brewing.
Okay.
Feel free to come on by, have a beer, hang out. We can hear some of the new tunes and some covers as well. Everyone's going to be having a good old time.
Perfect. Thank you very much, brother. I greatly appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you soon.
Thank you so much for your time. I really
Thanks,
appreciate
Larry.
it.
Take care, brother.
Laying under the purple sky, another day, fight to survive. Try to keep an open mind while I feed myself the lies. Will I wake another day, another world where I have my way? Think back to the light of faith and wide awake to my dismay. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me where it all went wrong. Deeper, deeper now I fall. Fate sings a siren's call. Flying over another dream, another day, so it seems. Fight back, but my mind leads to the addiction I feed. As I sleep on another page, another chapter I can't erase. This book is running out of space to depict my fall from grace. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me where it all went wrong. Deeper, deeper now I fall. Fate sings a siren's call. Purple sky show me anew. Blood, life choices I refuse. Higher, higher, self-abused. Away I'm consumed.